Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Binuuura. I am a third year medical student at Hacettepe University by Turkey Scholarships program. Today my friend Ilgaz and I are going to talk about how we were accepted to medical internships in the universities of Zurich, Switzerland. Generally, medical internships can be broadly categorized into research and clinical. Research internships involve the lab-based project, and clinical ones, like you shadow doctors and kind of get experience from their practices. This video is going to mainly focus on the research part, but it's also, I think, relevant to the clinical positions as well.
Yeah.
Ilgaz, I have a question for you. Why doing this is important?
It's really important to be part of the research because we will be as a medical doctor, we will be a practitioner,
Yes.
which we apply the information comes from the research side. But also we have a direct connection with the clinic and the patient. So we have an advantage if we know the procedure behind the steps, how this information produced, we can be rich.
Yes.
And why it's much important? Because we know we can ask true questions, and because we know the requirements from the patients and from the clinic. This is why is it really important. You can contribute if you with familiar with the research. You can contribute anything in any part of this process.
Yes.
And if medical students generally comes from the good background of the science, and they generally be curious about this thing, and it's entertaining.
Yes, okay, I agree with you totally.
Binuuura, everyone wondered the first starting point.
Yes.
How to be a competent candidate for an intern position.
Okay, so if you have some time for preparation and if you want to do this internship at the summertime, we have some tips for you. First of all, participate in the research conferences. If you want to do research in the summer, you have to have a primary exposure to the field and understand basically what researchers do and how they study. For example, Ilgaz and I went to Hatay, right, for the augmented reality conference. They applied it to the urological operations, and that was a mind-blowing experience for us. We also went to Istanbul Cerrahpaşa for a conference, a conference about medicine and the research. We can say molecular diagnostics in the ASL and something. So these kind of topics were very interesting to listen to.
Yeah, but it was broad topic.
Yes, exactly.
And you can make a really good network.
Yes, good network with different people, and they normally researchers, they come and explain what they do in a basic way. So with this kind of exposure, you'll be able to understand everything. Secondly, of course, undoubtedly, you need to read research papers and familiarize yourself with the knowledge, with the lab tools, with statistical analysis tools. That way you can find the field that you are interested in and also get the knowledge of the data behind it. And thirdly, I would say go and do internships locally in your own home university. Last year, you were in which department?
Neurosurgery.
Yes, neurosurgery. I was in ophthalmology department, and we were doing a simple observership with a doctor. It was just a shadowing, but still we had this information to write in our applications, which was good, right?
Yeah, really good.
Okay.
And we took recommendation letters from there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Ilgaz, so if someone wants to do an internship in the medical field, how can they define actually what they want to do?
Yes, all of us have a lot of interests, and it was a Carl Sagan video. Yes, he was showing a really big library, and there were hundred thousands of the books, and he said, if I can read one book per month, I can only read this part.
Yes.
So there is a lot of interest, a lot of huge information,
yes.
a lot of things to do. But you have to be selective, and it does not mean you any interest you can deal with, any problem you can solve it. No, what motivates you, what drives you for the further steps is if you really believe to get the functional results. If you really feel that this is worth doing, just start with them.
Yes. So basically, it must be worth doing a medical internship, and you must be certain that it's going to be helpful for you.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm not just saying it has to be a product,
Yeah,
but
of course.
it has to be useful, something like this. You have to be implement something, or it has to get a really important point, really important data
Yes.
that you can use other fields.
Yeah, definitely not random.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Binuuura, everyone wonders, I'm sure, and from our environment, how do you start applying?
Yes, okay. So the most common way of applications is actually through email. What you do is you find the particular lab you're interested in, particular doctor, professors, and you email them expressing your motivation. A second option could be applying through the programs which are like happening in the universities, but typically they have got limited number of acceptances and basically limited responsibilities that they can give you. So another tip we want to give with Ilgaz is you can find doctors who graduate with, like from your university and email them in order to get a better chance of having a positive result.
Yes.
So to your email, again, you express why do you want to join the lab. You attach your CV, you attach your grades, you attach what else, diploma, certificates that you have.
Yes.
And also the reference letter from your professor,
Yes.
either the one who has a direct contact with you from, I don't know, any kind of like class, or someone who knows you better. So these are the steps.
What is the best time for starting this write these emails?
Yes, I would say you need to start early. So typically the best positions, they kind of finish at February and January. So if you start at December or even November, you're gonna have a good chance of getting an acceptance.
Yeah, because last year I got a lot of emails from I would accept you, but I'm full.
Yes, exactly. Like I will accept you, but maybe next year they
Yeah.
say, right? So that's correct. Good. Ilgaz, so you were accepted here at Zurich at the university, but did you have any other alternatives?
I had, and we must have, because anything problematic, anything can arise from you or from the institution.
Yes.
It's a long process. Anytime it could happen, especially bureaucratic things. So you have to keep the alternatives on your hand.
Yeah.
And continue with these all alternatives. For example, I get acceptance from the Karolinska, Max Planck, and Milan University, and some other.
Yes, these are like the best universities here in Europe for the medical field, especially Karolinska, right?
Yes, these are good in Europe, and I continued my connection with them in a really long period.
Till the last time, right?
Yes,
Almost.
we have, but yes.
Yeah, it was necessity. But did you have like any kinds of interviews with them? Did they want something else from you except the things I listed?
Yes, two of them demands this interview
Interview,
on the Zoom, and I can divide these Zoom periods some parts, and the most important part is you have to show your enthusiasm, your discipline, your energy,
Yes.
because they don't have much expectation from you. They want to know you really, what you can do. Say just what you can do, because it will be not useful for both of you and the institution if you write I can do this, but if you couldn't,
Yes, it's gonna be a lie.
and it's not useful for you also. Secondly, they asked what courses you have, because of the understand your theoretical background, and what devices you can use, what kind of laboratory
Medical
methods.
devices, right? Medical laboratory devices.
Yes,
exactly.
laboratory devices. Like for example, the PCR. Can you do with your own hands? Can you do some Western blot or something else, other things? And each asked me, what is the last article you read?
Yes, it's like asking what is the last book you read, right?
Yes.
In a normal interview, but they ask about research articles. Last one that you read.
Yes.
What did you say?
I forget it. I said their own
Their own
articles,
paper.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, and they ask your interest, what do you want to do in our laboratory, something else. And last I want to add is at the end of the conversation, if it's all appropriate, it's suitable. You have to ask a question about their own work. because it shows you have read their articles, you know what they do. You have to share your idea and question with them.
Maybe even a suggestion, right?
Yeah,
If you-
suggest no problem.
It's not a problem.
Yes.
Everyone like in the research field, I think, is open
Yes.
to these kinds of conversations. Okay, good.
After make a connection and accept the most important thing, the economical side of this internship.
Yes, sure.
How, because it's not Erasmus or program, you are arrange yourself. How did you find funding, or have you?
Okay.
What can we do this?
All right. So with the funding, there are like multiple options you can consider. First option is to find funding at the host university, so the university you'll be going to. Like most of them in Europe have got some like project-based internship scholarships. So if you complete a project at a specific time, they give you like a grant afterwards, or you can like ask for a scholarship or sponsorship from a society like a neuroscience society, or like let's say spinal cord injury society if you have one in your home country. And also you could get some I would say support from the local funds and local organizations. For example, in our Hacettepe, we have a support, like a transportation support. If you go into interview, if you complete it successfully, they can buy your tickets, flight tickets to your destination, and this is also very helpful for a student. So after you get accepted, you have some time for preparation, like for anything that you need to do before actually going to a university, your host university. Do you have any suggestions for people who already have an acceptance and just waiting for like, going there?
Yes. In order to spend your time in the institution efficiently, you have to be prepared.
Exactly.
And we have several months before to go. So actually, the most important thing to be familiar with the work and articles of the team, and read them and understand them, and try to learn the theoretical sides of their methods.
Yes.
For example, if you use the confocal microscopy, try to understand how it works. And
Same for
procedure.
fMRI, for example.
Yeah.
If you are going to like fMRI studies for the brain or spinal cord, you need to know like how does it work, how do you get statistical data from it,
Yes.
how do you get a meaningful result from it. So these
Yeah.
kind of things, right?
yeah, not just learn to the how to use. No, understand the mechanism how to work.
Because they're gonna ask.
Yeah, they ask, and otherwise you cannot understand the real concept. Okay.
Yes.
And regardless of the team where you go, you have to be, as you said, you mentioned, but you have to really be good at with this reading the articles. So what I want to say, there are, for example, in the molecular field, they use lots of dyeing methods, and they all know in the article. They don't explain that. You have to
Yes.
be familiar with the dyeing methods or
Yes.
the microscopic.
It's like in one sentence, but
Yeah.
like for them it's very easy to understand.
Yeah.
But for you, you need to spend some time like into like actually
Yes.
knowing what that is.
Yeah, for genetic tools, it says CRISPR, but you don't understand if you don't know. This part is one, and the second one is the data analysis part, statistic
Yes.
part. Actually, I understand better. In a scientific project, yes, they start with the creative questions, and they prepare a really also creative design of the experiment.
Yes, exactly.
But after that, they got a lot of bunch of data, and it's really big part of this
And
process.
they ask what to do with it,
Yes,
right?
what to do? They do a lot of interpretations. They do a lot of programming, like the R programming, as your institution used here, and MATLAB or Python they used. If you really want to do science in the future, you have to know this.
So if someone goes into research project, do you think that they like should learn Python or any kind of programming before they go? Do you think it's necessary to learn the language?
If you are determined, if you really want to do this, it should, because everyone in this master or PhD students, they interpret their data as their own, not
Yes.
another
Statistician.
bioinformatics
Yes.
statisticians not do this. So be familiar with these concepts. It really helps you when you go.
I agree with you totally.
It's like a funding question. Because of the not official program is this, we have
Yes.
to deal with a lot of things with ourselves. How did you find this the accommodation?
First of all these processes, all these questions, they may seem daunting at the beginning, but because you are kind of individually going to an institution, you are doing this like on your own without any kinds of program, you might feel that it's going to be a tiresome and like a difficult process, but actually compared to doing like something with a program, it's going to give you like more benefits afterwards. So regarding the place you're gonna live in, first thing you have to do, I recommend it to everyone, you have to contact the housing office of the host university. You need to say, I'm coming on this time, here are my acceptance letters, please tell me where can I live. They will give you detailed information. They will say whether this university has got a sufficient amount of dorms or do they have like student house and stuff. So first, after learning that, you can consider this option. Of course, there's always something like renting, but I'm not going to talk about that. Thirdly, if you're ever going to come to Zurich, there is this thing called WOCO. WOCO is a student house company. They give you an opportunity to rent their rooms, and it's actually pretty comfortable because you can find various options at different places in the city.
Yes.
And some of them can be like very close to your campus. If I talk about myself, I am at the University Hospital Belgrade, connected to the Zurich University, of course, and I walk to my like hospital every day like for 20 minutes, and this is actually very good that I have to don't have to use the transportation. And also regarding transportation, Ilgaz also knows like before coming we have to look and find information like how do you commute inside the city.
Yes.
Like do you use bus, trams, because like we are foreigners here and it's gonna be like very hard for us if we don't know like from the very beginning.
Binuuura, what can you say about visa? Because we are not tourists,
Yes.
educational program.
So actually, if you're gonna stay for 3 months or longer, you need to have a different kind of visa type.
Yes.
Normally in Schengen, it's I don't know, called differently. But we're staying like almost 90 days, like 80 something days. So we're not in that category. But still, like for Ilgaz as well, as a Turkey citizen, he needs a visa for going to Europe, and me as a Kazakhstan citizen, I also need a visa. It's actually a bit tiring process because you have to prepare everything in advance. So if you, for example, are going to go to your university in Europe or America, let's say on June, you need to be prepared for all of the visa things on March, because like you need to get your visa as soon as possible. What do you need for visa? The most important thing are the flight tickets there and back, and then the place that you're gonna like stay in.
Bookings
so
of
like
the-
bookings, yes, that you can make a reservation or like a reservation at your dorm, right?
And you can make a request from the institution. Can you wrote me about the thing? Can you give as soon as possible to visa to the student? We
Yes,
accepted
yes.
him. It could be
Yes,
helpful
we actually had this
from the professor.
exactly. We had this paper saying that I want to invite this student particularly to my lab. I need this student. Can you please make this student's like visa application easier?
Yes.
So we had this paper, and you also need to have insurance cover, health insurance cover for your stay here. For Turkey, it's like very easy. Just like write it on Google, and you will get options. It's also not that I would say expensive. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and also one thing we wanted to discuss is like what to bring with yourself, right?
Oh yes.
When you come, what do you need to bring? Ilgaz, do you have any ideas about it? Like what did you bring here in Zurich to stay for like almost 3 months?
The nuts.
Nuts. Okay, yes. Nuts are very important. So
Yes.
like
High calorie.
high calorie nuts, like we say it in Turkish, like badam,
Badem, fındık, ceviz.
everything you can eat, because like during the day if you feel hungry and you just eat like 3 or 4
Yes.
pieces of them, you'll be like full for let's say the next meal afterwards.
Yes. And easy to bring with you.
Easy to bring, yes. So we kind of got the nuts, we got those like conserved stuffs, food,
Yeah.
in order to get like a meal. We got like ready soups and stuff. So
Yeah,
all
ready
the
soups also.
ready soups. And the thing that we actually are like craving for right now is cereal, because like in the morning, like with milk, eating cereal is very like easy. That's why.
Maybe you can buy, but Zurich is a little bit expensive.
But yes, of course, like if you're gonna go to a more, I would say, cheaper place. I'm sorry, here I forgot to
add this file. I think we lost it, but I wanted to say that if you are going to a cheaper place like other parts of Europe, you don't have to think about that. But since we were in Switzerland, we were prepared.
And Gus, after you were accepted, did you keep talking to your professor?
Yes, we have to. For example, you have to give some feedbacks. I'm doing this stuff. I'm
Reading this,
I'm
right?
reading this. What do you recommend to me? You want some? You can want some resources for the work. And why it's important? Because you can have a more stronger communication with him or her. That helps you after you go. You know
The
you know
person, yes.
yes better. So it's important. And
You can also ask like at which stage you are in at your research, right? So that when
Yes.
I come, like what I'm gonna do there specifically, how can I improve myself, right? These
yes,
kind of things.
of course. And you can also ask them what how is your studies going. You can ask some topics about their work. It's good, really. And ask the professor if he wanted anything from your country.
Like a
Yes.
gift, yes?
Yeah, like a gift, yes.
Yes, that's also no problem. If I talk about myself, we have one neuroimaging group, and I'm kind of attached to one of my mentors who is a PhD student, and my professor who is a not an assistant but a neurologist in the hospital. So basically, I don't have like many connections with other people in the group because we are focusing on our fMRI project, on the MR spectroscopy project. So like I don't have any other connection with the other people in the group. What about you?
By the way, we bring this orchestra here for you.
Yes.
Yes. In our teamwork, we have a lot of PhD students, and they are free. If I compare with your
Yeah,
group, it's really easy to, for example, ask, can I attend this experience? What are you doing in the lunchtime, for example? And I'm doing stuff like this, and it's really good because they have a really big enthusiasm to teach.
Yes.
And lastly, accept the topics. What you want to say generally. It could be any kind of.
Okay, so I think for many people the big question would be like how to get accepted, and I would say like the more you prepare yourself for the internship, the more you look knowledgeable, the more you know, the better are your chances. Because like when you like write a standard email like I want to go, I want to do this, they're not gonna even look at it. But if you really like say I know this and I want to see this in your lab and kind of also contribute this to your lab, this is gonna be like a top essay and a top email, I would say. And also like I don't have anything else actually. We discussed many things. Do you have?
I have a little bit. We talk with it's important to fit yourself with the different aspects if you meet with the people.
Yes.
It's important. But other things, you also do your own research. You also do your own project. And as a student, you always studying something. You just the problem you can get don't understand this things. But in the project, you are doing something and you get a lot of errors.
Yes.
Problems
Errors everywhere.
Yes, and actually I learned to how to deal with the problems on the process. It's really
Yes.
important by your own self. You cannot ask every time anything, and you cannot find any information from the internet. So you are learning how to solve something.
Yes.
This is the one, and the second one, you took some responsibility also, because your professor says something, and
You're doing it.
you're doing it, and you are doing it with your own way. You have to you have to be trust your way and do this. So and of course you get a lot of experience from the abroad living, and you
Yes,
can
of
visit a lot of
course.
places. These are the other parts of course.
Yes, this is another conversation, of
Yeah.
course, but the main thing here, yes, prepare yourself well, and then basically be motivated and just try to do everything on time, I would say. This
Yes.
is the last thing. Okay, thank you for watching this video. I hope that was like helpful for you. Ilgaz and I tried to give you the like understanding of what research internships are and how we did it. So good luck. I wish you all to get accepted to a place you want. And yes, this is
If
Zurich.
if anyone get acceptance next year, please write.
Yes, if you go to Zurich after watching our video, like we have lots of things to tell you. We love this city. So yes, bye bye.
See you.